أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويستفتونك في النساء قل الله يفتيكم فيهن وما يتلى عليكم في الكتاب في يتامى النساء التي لا توتونهن ما كتب لهن وترغبون أن تنكحوهن والمستضعفين من الولدان وأن تقوموا لليتامى بالقسط وما تفعلوا من خير فإن الله كان به عليما. Dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I recited Surah An-Nisa Ayat number 127. In this ayat, Allah tells us about the orphans. And orphans must be protected completely and fully, and their share from the inheritance must be provided to them safely and fully, so that they can get it even when they are small. You are allowed to keep it, protect it, and even if you want to use it into the business, so must keep the profit of that with the principal amount whatever belongs to the orphans. So when they grow up, then you have to give them back all that. So this is a special program which is in Islam, that the orphans assets that they got from their parents, those must be protected completely and fully. And when they will become able to, when they are able to hold them, when they become adult, then you have to pass to them so that they can protect their own assets, and they make their own life, mashallah, better, so in this world and the world hereafter, mashallah. So this way, look after the orphans' assets, look after their education and training, and also their welfare, and fulfill the needs of them. And that will, even if you will spend something from your own, so that will be creditable. You will get the credit of that. So this is very important in that. So this way, we read this one, Allah told in this ayat, we will understand more better in this. So Allah said in this ayat, وَيَسْتَفْتُونَكَ فِي النِّسَاءِ وَيَسْتَفْتُونَكَ, and the people, they request for ruling about the woman. So they came to the Holy Prophet, people came to the Holy Prophet, they requested for the command of Allah about the woman, especially women who were orphans. So Allah said, Kul, you have to say to them, Allahu yuftikum, Allah is giving you ruling, fihinna, for the woman. So Allah has given the ruling for the woman. Actually, one thing that was the marriage, nikah, that was the people sometime they were try to do nikah with the orphans, like the person who was the guardian. So mostly the guardian was uncle or brother. So they were unable to make nikah according to Islam. But if the guardian was cousin, then it was possible for him to have a nikah with the orphan. And Allah said, then you have to look after the assets of the orphans and give them the dower, and also and look after their rights and responsibilities according to Islam. So that is very important. Don't ignore this one. So this way, uh, Allah said in this ayat, وَيَسْتَفْتُونَكَ فِي النِّسَاءِ, the people came to you about the ruling for the woman. Kulillahu, say the people, Allah yuftikum, Allah is commanding you, Allah is giving you the ordinance or the ruling fihinna, for the woman. Wama yutla alaykum, Wama yutla, and whatever is recited alaykum, upon you, fil kitab, in this book. So it means in Holy Quran. So there are other ayat, other places where Allah told, Allah commanded about the orphans also. Like if you try to look in the beginning of this Surah An-Nisa, you will find in ayat first 2, 3, 4 ayat, you will understand there the Allah's command about the orphans also. So now is this one, Allah said you try to understand fully, completely, to look at other ayat also in this book, holy book and holy Quran. So in order to understand completely what Allah wants for the orphans, you have to fulfill all those responsibilities in order to be a successful person in this world. So this way Allah said, Wama yutla alaykum fil kitabi, and whatever is recited for you in this book, fi yatam nisa, for the woman. So illati la tutu nahunna, Allah said illati la tutu nahunna. So whatever Allah said concerning to the woman, these orphan women, you do not give, la tutunahunna, you do not give them ma kutiba, whatever has been written, what have been fixed from Allah, lahunna, for them. So for the woman, what have been written, for what has been fixed for them, you are not to give them also. وَتَرْغَبُونَ, and you have desire, أَن تَنْكِحُوهُنَّ, that you have to do nikah with them, you have to do a marriage with them, but you are not to fulfill the demand, not to fulfill what is their right and responsibilities, like the dower, what is fixed, you are not to pay that one. So this is your fault. Allah said, you do not give them what has been fixed for them, what has been written in this book for them. You are not to fulfill that one. Even you are trying to having a desire to have a nikah with them, but you are not to fulfill that. Wal mustad'afina, and the mustad'afina mean the weak and the weak orphans. So weak orphan mean the children. Minal Vildani, so small children. You are not to fulfill the rights and responsibility of those one also. وَأَن تَقُومُوا لِلْيَتَامَى بِالْقِسْطِ, Allah said, for these weak orphans who are small children like this, so وَأَن تَقُومُوا لِلْيَتَامَى, so you have to stay in with justice. Takumu, you have to stay lil yatama fal yatama, for these orphans, bil qist, in justice. So the main thing is that you have to keep on justice also for them. So maintain justice among them. So Allah wants this one. Wa an taqumu lil yatama bil qist, and Allah orders you to maintain justice among them, among the orphans. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا, and whatever you do, min khairan, good, whatever you will do the good for the orphans. Good mean like what is the assets, what is from the assets or of the orphans, not from that, but from your own pocket. If you will help, you will do some goodness for the orphans. Allah said, وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ. If you are doing something good for the orphans from yourself, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِهِ عَلِيمًا. So Allah is just to look at completely. Allah knows about that, and you will get the credit of that at the day of judgment. So don't worry about that. So this way in this ayat, Allah tells us that وَيَسْتَفْتُونَكَ فِي النِّسَاءِ قُلِ اللَّهُ يُفْتِيكُمْ فِيهِنَّ وَمَا يُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْكِتَابِ فِي يَتَامَى النِّسَاءِ اللَّتِي لَا تُؤْتُونَهُنَّ ما كتب لهن وترغبون أن تنكحوهن والمستضعفين من الولدان وأن تقوموا لليتامى بالقسط وما تفعلوا من خير فإن الله كان به عليما. So Allah said, and the people, they request for ruling about the woman. So say to them, Allah gives you ruling about them. And what has been recited to you in the book in Holy Quran concerning the orphan girls, you do not give them what has been written, what has been fixed for them in the Holy Quran by Allah, and you have desire to marry them. And concerning for the oppressed, helpless, the weak orphans, Allah orders you to maintain justice for them. And whatever you do the good for them, Allah knows it completely. Very important. So in this ayat also Allah told that whatever is the share for the orphans from the inheritance, you have to give them completely and fully. That is one thing. Then the share of the orphans, what is that? So total, you have to make the total protection of that. So that is your duty. And then you have to look after the food and shelter of the orphans and give them good education and training also, and look after their needs. So like you are looking after your own children needs, you have to look after the needs of the orphans also. And when from the orphan girls, if they become like adult, they becomes like at a puberty level, then if you want to do nikah with them, like nikah is possible for if the cousin is the guardian, so they're possible, but then you have to pay the dower to them completely and fully, and you must be responsible for the rights and responsibilities as a husband. So you have to look after those rights and responsibilities with them also, like you look after the rights and responsibilities with a other like wife. So she is the orphan girl is like that. So you are not to depress them and not to make some deficiency in their rights and responsibilities. You must fulfill completely and fully the rights and some responsibilities as a husband to the girl if you want to marry them. And this is very important, because in the olden days, even now also, some girls, when they are orphan, so the guardian, they don't allow them to marry to someone, because they feel that if they will marry to someone, so the someone who will be the husband will take the assets or inherited assets of the orphan girls. So they think like this. The guardian, they think that the person who will marry, that will take the inherited assets of the orphan girls. So this way they don't want to give it, but actually that is the real owner of that is the girl. So she must get that one also. Where she spend, what she will do, that is her own. but the guardian, they are not to give them. This is the problem also. So even if you look in a Muslim society, some people even they look like very good, but when the dad or some dad dies, then the brothers, they are unable to give the proper, the fixed share for to the sisters, and they are not to give them completely and fully. They are not to look after their share and assets. So this is the other problem. And similarly, if the small girls of the orphan person, the small girls or boys, so when they grow up, so they are not to look after the education and training of them according to Islam. So this is other problem. Even some places it has been seen that if the if the orphan small boy is going to school, so from the orphan's assets, so they try to buy a car, and then they say that we are going to leave the orphan to school and come and take him back and look after him when he need. This is for the orphan, but actually that car is used for his own family members, for his own children, and this is the thing. So it means, according to Islamic point of view, if they are using for their own children or for their own use, then they have to look after the rent of that, and that must be added to the assets of the orphan. So because that is the orphan property, so they have to look after that. But no, they are not to look after that one also. Even from the orphans money, so when they want to go out, eating out to a restaurant, to a big hotel, so then they try to spend the whole money from the orphan assets. So and then they say, because orphan was eating with us, so actually, well, you are eating with him also. So you have to think that you have to, if the orphan money, that is what the orphan is eating, that must be deducted from that. Not the whole money will be deducted from that. The whole family is eating. So you have to look after the whole family. You have to pay for that also. So that you have to protect the orphan's assets. That is not done. So mostly this is the problem. And Allah said in Holy Quran also that when you are eating the property or assets or something from the orphans, it is like you feeling fire in your belly. So this is the thing. So this way the main thing is that, but in you can see the other problem is when the girls, especially the orphan girls, when they become bigger, like when they become adult or at a puberty stage, so if they were beautiful, they were just to marry that. If the cousin is the guardian, then they were just to marry that one, but they are not to fulfill the dower of them. This is the other problem. And similarly, if they were not beautiful, and they were not allowed to marry any other person also, because they were thinking that if they will marry to any other person, the property assets will go outside of our family. But actually that is property or assets. Those are the property of the girl. So who is being married. If she will take that one, that is her property. She can take it, no problem. But some people, they don't think that it should go out. This is the problem. So this is outside Islam, these things. And they are making like trouble within the Islamic society. They are not to fulfill the rights and responsibilities to the orphans. So they are not giving them the right to, even when they were at a puberty level, after that they want to marry, then they say, okay, you have to marry that one. They found the person, so they found that the money will, or the assets will stay within in our control. So then they want, okay, you should marry this person. But this is not allowed in Islam, because you have to look after the will of the girl. Like you are just to look at the will of your own girl while at the time of nikah. Same like you have to look after the will of those girls who are orphans at the time of nikah also. So their consent is very important at the time of marriage, that they want to marry this person or they don't want to marry that. So this is very important, and then they have to be given like their dower completely and fully, and all rights and responsibilities must be clearly and completely, those must be fulfilled. This is important thing also, very important, but this is not done in mostly. And for the small children, Allah said, wal mustad'afina min al wildan wa an taqumu lil yatama bil qist. For the small children who are orphan, you have to look after their food, shelter, and their education and training and other needs, and completely and fully, and with justice. Like Allah said, you have to maintain the justice among them. So it means, so you have to look after their assets, and if they need something, you have to spend that properly, what is needed for them, so on their need. So they must get to the good education and training. They must have to be fulfilled their needs and requirements, and they should have a good, better life also. And but the guardian is responsible to provide all the needs what the orphan people they need. So this is very important also. So this is not a simple thing. Or similarly, the widow of the orphan, like widow mom of the children, so that must be given the property asset from the inherited assets of the person who has died. So she must be given, and there should not be injustice for her also. So very important, very important. One person came to Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Darda radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He said, this is the, you can see how the service of orphans pay to you in this world. So one person, Abu Darda radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he revealed that one person came to Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, my heart is hard. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do you like it should be soft? So this person said, yes. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, so you have to find the orphan and place your hand on the head of the orphan, and feed him from your food. Your heart will become soft, and your needs will be fulfilled. MashaAllah. So this is the benefit of that. So how can you get like the orphans? Serve them little bit, like place your hand on the head of the orphan and feed them. You will get your heart, if it is hard, it will become soft, and also your requirements will be fulfilled. MashaAllah. And one other hadith that is in from Ibn Majah, Abdullah bin Abbas radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he revealed that a person who is just to look after the three orphans, so this person is like a person who is praying the whole night, and also fasting the whole day, and in the morning and up to the evening, every day, every time. That person is in jihad with sword and fighting. Like this is like that type of reward that is coming to this person also, who is serving three orphans. MashaAllah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for these people, for orphans, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that person who is serving the orphan will be at the day of judgment, will be with me like two fingers are together. So that person will be like this in the paradise. MashaAllah. Similarly, if a person, in other hadith that is in Ibn Majah, if a person who is looking after the widows and the needy person, and giving them trying to fulfill the need of them, so that person will be like a person who is always in jihad fi sabilillah, who is like at night praying salah, and in daytime is fasting. MashaAllah. So much reward is coming to that person. And when you are looking after a person who is in need, you are just to fulfill the need of that. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a person who is trying to fulfill the need of a person from my ummah, so that person is just to going, if that person has to fulfill the need, that Allah will be happy with me. That he said this, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, if a person has this type of intention in mind and helping the person to fulfill the need, so then that person is making me happy. And who is making me happy is that person is making Allah happy. And when Allah is happy, then Allah will place that person in the paradise. MashaAllah. This hadith is in Shobul Iman and revealed by Anas bin Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu. MashaAllah, you can see. So is so much rewards we will have. This way we have to look after the orphans, widows, masakin and needy people. We have to fulfill the needs of them so that we should have a good place in paradise with the blessings of Allah. Allah give us tawfiq. Ameen.